Hey, what's up, everybody? Hi, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I know I was absent on the Instagram lately, but I am back. I'm back. I take some time off, but the new episode, the new season of The Single Life has aired, and it's important. It's very, very important that we discuss this. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to the new year. Kara's here. Kara, hi. Oh, Masia. How are you? Karen is here. Tricia. Let's see. Dee is gonna be here, but possibly late. Hey,
Hi. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excellent. This single life episode was a lot for me. First of all, I wasn't expecting 2 hours. Were you expecting 2 hours?
No.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting 2 hours, but I'm not mad. Hey, Winter, I'm not mad about it. I was hoping to see you there, Winter, actually. I didn't see Winter in Greece. We're gonna get into that also, but Dee Dee was traveling back from one of the Carolinas, I'm assuming north. So she's gonna be joining us at some point. Hey, Nurse Erg. Hey, Nurse. Wait, what does that say? Nurse Erg? I don't know if I'm saying it right. But yeah, Dee Dee is going to be joining us at some point. So when she got back home, she turned on the show, but she's still watching it. So whenever she's done, she's going to pop in. But it was 2 hours long. I don't know. We might not get Dee Dee tonight, but I'm just being honest. But
These bullshit.
I know, right? So I want to jump in. So they did a little background. Wait. Ma K with a K, the sound. Oh, see, I've been trying to, you know what? You have been trying to help me pronounce your name correctly. Mackay. I keep saying Masia. It's Mackay. So I got it right this time. And Nurse Rosanna Green. So see, if you guys give me the right directions, I can get your names right. So all right, so I want to jump in because we were Dee Dee's here. Hold on.
She watched that shit on Fast Forward.
Right. I was just about to get started. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna let Dee Dee in here real quick so we can get started. Hey.
Happy New Year.
Hello. We were just about to get started. I didn't know if we were gonna get you. No, Micah, like in the Bible. Oh, Micah. I know that. I've read the Bible like a million times. You know, y'all know I was raised in a religious cult, so I've read the Bible like a million times. Micah. Now I know how to say it correctly. Micah. Now I'm not gonna get it wrong. Now I got it. And Donna's like, it's just Donna, y'all. It's just Donna. Okay. So this episode, we learned a little bit about Tyree. So were y'all fully aware that Tyree was a 33-year-old virgin?
Yeah,
He said before.
it in the season.
That went over my head.
It was a 32-year-old virgin last time.
That went over my head, but like he's never kissed anyone or anything or ever been on a date. And I'm trying to like understand, right? Because I know I was a good Christian boy, growing up and everything, but I was kissing girls in elementary school, right? Like I'm trying to understand how Tyree ended up being this sweet, innocent teddy bear that he is. And I'm like, how did he get to this point where he has never like been in a real relationship or been on a real date? He's a really nice guy. Right? And there's a lot of women who appreciate a nice guy. They appreciate not being cheated on. They appreciate not being lied to. They appreciate you showing up on time, pulling out the chair. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's transpired to where Tyree hasn't been on a date, like at all, like for real. Like he said that he went to prom with his cousin. What the hell is going on?
He said that when his dad died, he took on the leader role. So I think he was more focused on his family. Plus, he's really shy.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to date, to be honest. I don't think it's that he didn't want to. I think it's just that he prioritized his family.
See, my hormones were gonna see. Just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. That when I was a teenager or younger, you're like that wasn't. It was that or nothing, right? Like I'm surprised that I even passed in school. I was so focused, so I don't even know how he managed to just block girls out completely. But I mean, I do respect the fact that he was taking care of his family and he stood, he was the oldest, so he stepped up and he was helping raise his younger siblings and everything. But I wouldn't know. I'm the youngest. They were raising me. So like I wouldn't know. I had my time and I was just super focused on that. But he met a girl named Tiffany at a funeral, which I thought was also interesting because I've met plenty of people at funerals, but nothing ever came of it because it's usually a sad time. So how do you guys feel about meeting somebody at a funeral? Is that like a normal thing to do, or do you think that that's a very vulnerable place? So you might like meet somebody and it turn into something. How do you feel?
Well, it was someone else's grandma, so it wasn't. I mean, I'm not trying to minimize that, but like if I was going to my friend's grandma's funeral and I was single and there was her friends there and
Mm-hmm.
that was his friend's grandma, it might not be as weird.
Okay, so
Yeah.
indirect person who's laying in the
Yeah.
casket is they're not like your grandma. Or okay, I get it. Okay, I get it.
They never
Just like
crocheted. She never crocheted me an Afghan.
okay, so just like when you go to a wedding and it's not like your immediate family, it's like a friend. It's totally fine to hook up with somebody at that wedding, right?
I mean, I wouldn't hook up with them at the
No,
venue, but
no, not at the church. No, not at the church. No.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Kara. At a funeral, I don't know. That's
not there. Not hook up with them there. Is it okay to meet someone there?
Yeah, that was the question. Yeah, let's not misconstrue. I didn't say is it okay to bang somebody at the funeral. That's not where we're going with this. We're trying to keep it family. Like, is it okay to say, hey, that person is good?
Some of these wackos we got on here might bang somebody at the funeral.
I mean, what was her name? Statler? I think Statler probably has had sex at a funeral. There wasn't very many places that Statler hadn't had sex at. Right. So I'm pretty sure a funeral is on the list. If we were to ask her, she would say, yeah, multiple times, and she would tell you the best place to go get that done. Like I feel like Statler knows what she's talking about. But Tyree is worried that he's going to get friend zoned with his new girlfriend. And we were watching his flirting skills. And I can kind of get how he ends up friend zoned. He doesn't have, I think they call it Riz now. He doesn't have the Riz. Like, he doesn't have the game that is needed. And I think women, being a woman, you're propositioned or hit on more times a day than probably people realize. So women have heard it all. They've seen it all. You have to have good game, good Riz to even get a woman's attention at this point, because women are dealing with horny men all day long, right? Like, you can't go to the coffee shop, you can't go to the grocery store, you can't even go to the doctor's office. There's some random strange dude looking at you. Right. So like, Tyree does not have the game, I think, that's gonna land him a girl, because he's I want to say out of the game, but I don't think he's ever been in the game. So I don't even know if he's like out of the game, but I just feel like he really does need to work on his self-confidence, because it's all about confidence, and it doesn't matter how you look. There's people who are bigger, smaller, bald, whatever. It's about what you look at. The Rock. The Rock is bald, and a lot of men are like, oh, I have the right head, I'm so embarrassed. The Rock owns it, right? Like, you just have to love yourself, be confident in yourself, and women recognize that level of confidence. And man, when we were watching Tyree interact at that bar, it was really, really hard to watch.
But can we talk about what Tyree's real heartbreak is going to be?
Yeah.
He actually thinks that his first time having sex is going to be 4 hours.
Yes. That was funny. I was like, 4 hours?
See, Twitter was having a field day with him, because they were like, there's men who've been in the game for decades. They've been doing this for a long time. 4 hours is not even like a real thing. We're even in the porn world. This isn't a real thing. Like, you have to be realistic. 30 minutes is a good thing to brag about, right, in this realm. So unfortunately, and then there were some tweets. They were like, I saw a tweet. I don't want to steal this tweet. I don't remember who tweeted it. Oh, Shabuti tweeted it, and he said 30 minutes would be good. So he was like, maybe Hillary Clinton took 3.5 hours to get lubed up, and then they went for 30 minutes. Because let's talk about his crushes, Hillary Clinton. Tyree, what? Hillary Clinton isn't even Bill
Hillary
Clinton's
Clinton,
crush.
out of all the women, Hillary Clinton.
She don't even look like Carmella. I have so many questions. What is happening? What is he talking about?
Oh my gosh. I can't with Tyree.
I absolutely love Tyree, but Tyree, for real, I would have took Cardi B. Acceptable answers. Cardi B, Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, Beyonce, J-Lo. Yeah, these are all acceptable answers for your dream woman. But Hillary Clinton, that's like saying Rosie O'Donnell. Like, what are you doing? Like, and
but,
you can't.
I mean, you like who you like.
That's
I mean,
true. That's true. See, I'm gonna accept
but
your
that was
answer for that.
funny. It was funny, but you like who you like.
That's true. You
Yeah,
know
but
what?
I don't think that Hillary Clinton can last for 4 hours.
I don't
There's
even.
no way Hillary Clinton could last 4 hours. No
So
way.
my thing was Hillary's not even Bill's dream girl, right?
Right.
So I was just like, where did that come from? Unless Tyree is really attracted to intelligence, because Hillary is a very, very, very intelligent.
If that's the case, then he would be attracted to Michelle Obama,
Yeah.
not Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I would have accepted a Michelle Obama in that situation.
Yeah.
That would have been a very acceptable answer. Michelle is not the most beautiful human being in the world, but she is the most beautiful soul in the world. She has done so much to help people.
Hillary Clinton was dumb enough to be cheated on by the president of the United States nationwide on TV and still go back. So she's not that intelligent.
I mean, that's true too. That's true too. I mean, let's switch out intelligent for successful.
Okay.
She's done some successful stuff. Maybe Tyree is into the successful women. I'm definitely into successful women. That is a huge turn on for me. Like a woman who has set goals aside and achieved those goals, or like women who went back to school and became nurses and doctors later. Like that's hot. Like that's hot. Like to say that you could put all the stuff that's in your life aside and create something for yourself. That's hot to me. You know, like for me, that's a lot. So maybe Tyree is into that. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to see how this goes for him, because in the end of the day, I want to see Tyree really, really happy and with someone that loves him and respects him. Because let's be real, Tyree's ex is a man named Christian.
Yeah.
Like, this is where we are. Like, let's be real. Tyree's ex is a man named Christian. And this is his only ex. Mm-hmm. The only relationship that he's ever been in was with a scammer. Yeah. So I really, really want him to find the right person. So what do we think first impressions about Tiffany? Because Tiffany seems too good to be true, right? So do we feel like she really does like him, or do you feel like this is an opportunity for her to get on TV?
I hope she likes him, but I don't have a good feeling about it.
I don't either.
Ask me that again next week.
Yeah, let's feel it out, because when she was talking about him, she was like, oh, he's perfect, and he's dead. I'm like, I don't know, you sound too good to be true now. Yeah. Like, I get when you like somebody or whatever, but you can't sound too good to be true, because then I don't believe you.
Right.
Like, you got to have something that you don't like, you know, and then you lead it up with something that you do like. You can't just be obsessed with him right after meeting him at somebody's grandma's funeral, right? Like, I need a little more realistic in there.
Yeah, I agree.
She said, like, dead. Riley, what are you talking about? Okay, all right, so I want to talk about, what's her name? Miss Debbie. So Miss Debbie, we met Miss Debbie back at the Alpaca Forum, and we found out that Osama has been calling Miss Debbie nonstop, trying to get her attention. And it doesn't surprise me, because we know what Osama's plan was. It was to get over to the U.S., but he kind of put a wrench in his own plan by showing his true colors before they got married. But it's ironic, though, because Debbie wanted to move forward with getting married, and he didn't. And I think it's ironic because now he realized that he kind of wrenched his own plan. And now, you know, without the wedding ring and the ceremony, there's no K1. The whole thing is at a halt. And Debbie stopped taking his calls, which I'm proud of her for, because I know she was obsessed. And she actually killed him in the painting. Did y'all catch that? She had a painting of her and Osama, and she killed him in the painting. Now he's dead in the painting. So I feel like that was very symbolic for her. Like, so I feel like she's ready to move on. But can you imagine a 67-year-old woman is going to be on Tinder? And, you know, because there's times where I don't understand Tinder and I don't understand Bumble. So, like, I'm trying to understand how Debbie's going to be able to navigate the dating world, because the dating world is very different. Like, now, I'm assuming back in the day when Debbie was dating, it was normal, right? I don't know what normal is, but it was much more normal than it is now, because people are in weird relationships with multiple people, or they're in open relationships, or they're polyamorous, or they're...
I think Julian's going to help her. I don't think she's on her own on this one.
I hope so, because, well, we found out that Debbie is lying about her age. She told this guy that she was 57 instead of 67. He's 60. So my question is, when you're older and more mature, is it really necessary to lie about your age? Because I feel like lying about your age is something that younger people do, or, you know, people who think they're old, but they're not really old yet.
Right.
I don't know how much of a big deal 10 years is to a 60-year-old and a 67-year-old. Is it a big deal?
I wouldn't think so.
No, I mean, And if you both mature and you know what you like,
Yes,
and if y'all like each other, it doesn't matter.
that's what I was thinking. Because she was so worried, you know, she's like, I don't want him to think that I'm too old. And I'm like, well, I feel like your age, and yeah, like what TJ says, for your age and how you look fine. I think the funny part is she could have probably passed for 57, because I don't think that he questioned it until she said anything. And I think that that was pretty, I think that if you look younger, there's no reason to lie about your age, you know, like just be honest. And people will normally say, oh, you don't look your age, which is good. But I don't like the idea of her starting out her dating, like her dating journey, lying to people. You know, I feel like that's probably not the best way to get back in the game. I think the best way to get back in the game is to be as honest as possible, especially after being scammed basically by Osama. I feel like it's better for her to be a little more honest. Wait, that's what I tell my kids about my little bumps in the car, allegedly. Oh, this is a whole conversation that I'm not a part of. What are y'all talking about allegedly? I got to go back through the comments. But we're going to watch Debbie finish off her first date. What was that guy's name? I can't remember his name now.
I forgot.
But she's into Latin men, and it made me immediately think of Dee Dee. Immediately, I was like, Dee Dee knows what's up with that. Dee Dee knows what's up with that. So it made me immediately think of Dee Dee. And it was ironic because we know Osama is not Latin or anything close to it. So I was like, maybe she was just looking up the wrong tree. You know, maybe she'll find the right Latin man that, you know, she can settle down
Hey,
with.
that caramel good. That's all I can say.
Dee Dee, I was like, I don't know, the first when she said it, I was like, oh, Dee Dee knows. Dee Dee and Donna, Dee Dee and Debbie are going to be out at the same clubs and bars. Yeah, I was like, I can see this happening now, because I was like, Dee Dee knows what's up. Okay. So, I want to jump into this Natalie thing, right? Because Natalie is back after it's funny because I haven't heard Natalie's name in like probably a year. Like she legit has been off the grid.
Because we all refer to her as Nuttily.
I have heard Nuttily a lot tonight. I have seen it typed out a lot too. So she was at Orlando International Airport, my home airport, and I recognized her right away, picking up the love of her life, which is her mother, not a man. Everybody was really confused as to who she was picking up. There's no new man in her life. We're still dealing with Josh and Mike. And I don't know if you guys saw my story. She just recently, they recently got divorced, like the other week, like last week or something. So it's been 4 years, and they're finally going through with it. So now she's definitely got her card now. So everything is good. And we were hearing in this episode that she's going to be trying to start work. But she leaves Florida. I think she was in like the Tampa area. And she moves to LA. No money, no job, no plan, no anything, her and her mom. And she's expecting Josh to just kind of fund her life, you know, up until things happen. And I don't know, this whole situation with Natalie, in my opinion, she always attaches herself to someone and then kind of just expects that person to pay for her everyday expenses. And I was like, that's not necessarily how relationships work anymore. And I know old school, that is exactly how relationships used to work. You know, a woman finds a husband and then that husband pays for her life until death. But, you know, in 2024, you know, it's not necessarily you find a man and then you just sit around and you tell him, give me an apartment, you know, get my mom an apartment, give me money, buy me food, buy me clothes, buy me a car. And I just feel like she's expecting a lot out of a man who she's not even like engaged to.
Yeah.
And what woman in her right mind sells her car, leaves her home? I don't know where the hell she was living, but she leaves her home and moves to LA and just hopes to God some dude is going to put her up in somewhere where she can live for free. Like, who does these things?
That they don't even kiss on the lips.
Someone that is psycho like Natalie. I mean, why in the hell are we having to see this nutcase again? Like, seriously, who voted to bring this woman back on the single life? Who in their right mind even wants to see this woman?
None of us. And this girl, we're talking about what she can't afford. She can't even afford hair extensions. She had to borrow them from Danielle's last season.
So they're recycling hair extensions now. Is that what we're doing? Oh my God.
Awful.
So,
awful.
Oh my gosh.
So she's freaking out because she's now in LA at she said a cheap hotel that she can barely afford, and she wants him to go find her an apartment like the next day, I guess. And I don't know. I was confused by that because apartments is not a one-day thing. You have to fill out an application. They have to do a credit check. They have to make sure you're not an axe murderer. Like, these things take time. You don't just go to an apartment complex, sign a paper, and get a key. So I don't know what she expects. But again, if I would have moved to another place, I would have had a plan in place for myself.
Yep.
I'm not going to expect anyone to do anything for me. If somebody wants to do something for me, that's fine. But I'm going to have my own plan in place, because it's even worse. She's brought her mother there. She can't do anything to take care of herself or her mother.
No.
And then she's like, well, help me get a job and help me do all these things. And I'm like, all of these things are things that you could do on your own.
Yeah.
And I feel like Natalie has really become so dependent on other people. Like, she never really takes personal responsibility for herself. Whoever she's with, like, it was Mike's responsibility to do everything for her. Then when she decided she was done with Mike, it was then Josh's responsibility to do everything for her. It's like, when is Natalie going to be a grown adult woman and just take care of herself? You know,
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me when I was younger, she was like, she told my sister, she's like, always do for yourself. She's like, don't move out of your mom's house into a man's house, and then from a man's house to another man's house. Always do for yourself first. Learn how to take care of yourself first, and then you realize that you don't ever have to stay in a situation you're not happy in.
Yep.
Because it's clear that Natalie, she's not happy with anybody. She would be much more happier if she could take care of herself, but I think that she's conditioned to believe that without a man, she's incomplete. And I think that it might be cultural, you know, it might be a part of her culture, how she was raised, how she grew up, that, you know, back in the Ukraine, women attached themselves to a man, and that was the only way that you could be complete. But, you know, in 2024, there's plenty of women who have their own house, their own car, their own job, and a boyfriend. And when she don't want that boyfriend at her house, she tells him to take his ass home. You know, there are plenty of women who have mastered dating without letting a man control their lives. And I wish that she would get with it, you know, because at this point, she looking hella desperate, and it's kind of sad. Like, honestly, it looks sad.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as, okay, she got with Mike. We all know she got with Mike because she thought Mike was rich. Well, Mike isn't rich. All right, and then she starts dating Josh. And, of course, you know, Josh is in the public eye. I mean, he has his own company and stuff. So she is now thinking that it's Josh's turn to take care of her because she's no longer with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Josh tried to give her an amazing opportunity in last season, and she didn't want to do it just because he worked all the time. She threw all that away just because he worked all the time. I mean, if you want to live like a freaking queen in the United States, your man got to work all the time. If you don't want to work,
yeah, somebody.
She's already throwing a fit about him working. She's already throwing a fit because he's going over how he's got to work next week, and she's like, "So you're only going to be with me one day?" Like, that's too much for anyone to be with her. Like, I wouldn't want to be with her for 5 minutes,
I mean,
let alone a whole day.
Most of the women that I know personally that are in a relationship with a really, really rich man are totally fine with him working all the time as long as they got the black card. Yeah. You know, as long as they have the black card, they're good to go. As long as they have access to the car and the black card, whenever he come back is when he comes back. You know, they're good. You know, they're out eating every day at restaurants. They're out shopping. They're out doing things. I think that Natalie she's the type of person that is so suffocating. I think that her relationships always end because she doesn't know how to be tolerable. Like, Natalie, she's just very insufferable. She's very suffocating. She needs to be in your face all the time, but she also needs to be nagging and like complaining as well. And it's like, if they're giving you everything you're asking for, stop complaining about things. You know, like she doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to have to take responsibility for herself. If they're giving you everything that you're asking for, minus a child, obviously no one's going to give this woman a child. Please don't. Please, I'll start a petition. Don't.
Nobody never know.
How old is she?
30.
She's 38 now,
Oh,
right?
38 now. Okay, yeah.
She's in her 30s.
She is
watching her for 20 freaking years.
She's about to be in her 40s. Like, she is grown. That's why I think it's insane to me the way that she behaves. She behaves like, so the first thing I thought of, because I was like, okay, Natalie reminds me of like a 22-year-old girl, right?
Yeah.
Like a 22-year-old girl. She works at Forever 21. Her dad pays her car note. Her dad pays her cell phone bill. She dates around. She'll go out to eat with a guy and get a free meal and then never call him. That's what Natalie reminds me of, except Natalie is too old to be doing that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she should be more, wait, Natalie needs to work for Walmart. She should get a job. I mean, I think that getting a job is not in Natalie's vocabulary. Don't get me wrong. I love to be proved wrong. But when she was talking to Josh about helping her get a job, I called BS. I don't see Natalie getting a job. I just don't see it. She's always been the type to just look like she wants to live off somebody's black card. That's just the vibe that I get. That's why
hasn't worked since she got here. She has not worked since she's got here. I mean, she's
you
been
know,
swiping Mike's card. I mean, Mike even admitted in the tell-all that she still has his bank card and he deposits money in that account for her.
yeah, that's how she was living in Tampa. She was using Mike's bank card. And let's be realistic. It only took 6 to 8 months for her to get her working papers, and she's been here almost it's over 4 years now. So if she wanted to work, let's just be realistic. There's plenty of places in Florida where she could have gotten a job. She speaks decent enough English, right? That she could have got a job. And you know, there's places in Miami you can speak zero English and you can still get a job. We do not discriminate here. So if she wanted to work, she could have easily gotten a job and taken care of herself. And I heard that the mansion that she was living in when we saw her on the beginning of the episode, the woman who owns that mansion, she reached out to me months back and said that Natalie never paid her 1 red cent in rent. Promised to, but never paid a.
She could go to work at Burger King and be a Whopper flopper and make enough to take care of her mom.
Yeah. You know what? We were just talking about this. There's a fast food place here that pays $22 an hour. And I was like, yeah, it's not the most what do you call it? Work. It's not the most work that, what's the word I'm looking for? Prestigious. That's it. It's not prestigious, right? But $22 an hour, she could have got her AC fixed in her 99 Corolla, right? Like she could have gotten some things taken care of. She didn't have to be living in anybody else's house. And apparently she was renting a room from some lady and then never paid her any rent. So that story is going to be coming out because the girl who reached out to me, she's going to eventually be selling that to a magazine. But that came out as well, that she promised that she was going to be filming. So when she got paid from the filming, she was going to pay her for staying in her house. And then she just packed up and moved, which I think we saw tonight. She kind of just packed up and went to LA with no warning. This is kind of what she did to the lady that she was living with, which none of this surprises me. If anybody watched her on any of the past seasons, this is all normal Natalie behavior. So anybody who is getting scammed by Natalie now, I kind of don't feel bad for you because this is all normal behavior. She's been doing this since the day she got here. Like she hasn't changed. She hasn't changed her stripes. She's still the same tiger she's always been. So it's like, if you're falling for her BS, and it makes me wonder, is Josh falling for her BS or does Josh just want to be on TV? Because Josh clearly has.
Josh wants to be on TV.
So is that
I agree because after what she did in the tell-all, if Josh didn't want to be on TV, if Josh didn't still want his 15 minutes of fame, if he would have been a normal human being, a normal man, he would have got up and first he would have punched her in the face. You know what I'm saying? And then he would have walked off stage because how are you going to say, because Tim even said, you have to make a choice, either Mike or Josh, and you got to put 100% into it. And what did she do? She got up and she walked and she sat on Mike's lap, gave him a hug, and started crying.
Yeah.
But everybody that's asking how her mom is here, I think, I could be wrong, but I think she's here on a refugee status. She came right after the war started, and I think that's why she's here.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I think it was what do they call it? I think you said it right, refugee or asylum seekers, I believe is how she got here. And then they just needed a sponsor, which Mike signed the papers for. So, but I don't think that he's like fully responsible for her the way he is for Natalie though, because I think while she's seeking asylum, it's not the same as like full citizenship. So but that's how she got over here. It was right when the war in Ukraine. This was filmed in August of last year. Wait, I can't say last year anymore because it's in the year. Not this past year, but the year before. That's how old this footage is. I don't think a lot of people realize that. It was right when the war in the Ukraine was getting horrible. And that's when she arrived here. So even though we're just seeing this now, this was like over a year and a half ago that this happened. But Mike was nice enough to help get her mom over here, which I really, really love Mike. as a human being, right? I hate that he's such a pushover and he lets her walk all over her or walk all over him and he lets her take advantage of him. I'm glad that he finally filed for the divorce, but he should have did it the moment she moved out of his house.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why he should have still been, hey, Scott, there's no reason why he should have still been supporting her while she's dating another man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like cold-hearted or whatever, but like if you're going to be out dating other men, don't use this man's hard-working money to fund your life with another man. Like, I feel like that's
sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I think he should have sent her back during the war.
Well, isn't that what Trish said? Trish said send her ass back, right? That's exactly what Trish said. Mike's mom was like, if she doesn't want to be with you and live with you and be a wife, send her back. That's exactly what Trish said.
As soon as the war started, I'd have sent her back then.
Oh, that is cold. That is cold. But I mean,
let nature take its course.
What makes her think that it's okay to come over here and use him, use his finances, use him for the green card, use him as our sponsor, and then just live a completely separate life?
Yeah.
Like,
because at the end of the day, she's a scammer.
Yeah.
I even told y'all from the get-go, she is doing nothing but scamming him. As all she wants is her green card. 100%. She is a scammer. That's why she thinks that everything needs to be handed to her on a gold platter, because she is a scammer. 100%. That's how scammers think.
But okay, so I have a question. Do you think that Natalie is like a legit scammer? Or do you think that it is a mix between, but do you think it's like a mix between tradition, culture, and scamming? Because I don't know.
No, scammer.
No? Yeah.
Scammer.
It's 100% a scammer.
You don't think she really believes it's Josh's responsibility to house her and feed her? You think that she's just a scam artist?
They don't even kiss on the lips. He's not actually in a relationship with her. They haven't been in the same house, let alone state, in months. Like, she's a freaking scammer. She is a scammer.
It's crazy to me. She's 38 and she has like no plans. Like, I don't know, like I make plans and I set goals like regularly, right? Like, and when I leave to go to,
even know how to put in her hair extensions. Like, come on.
How does she get this far? Like, have you guys ever looked at somebody and you look at them and you're like, how have you made it this far in life? That's
a
how
lot
I
of
look
people. Yes. A lot of people. I look at a lot of people like that. Like, what the hell?
I'd work with someone like that.
See, I look at her and I scratch my head because I was like, how did you make it this far? Because if I would have went out into the world with your level of intelligence, I would have never made it. Like, I don't know where I would be, but I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am now. Like, It just really makes me wonder how I'm behind what show are we talking about? Oh, Scott, we're talking about The Single Life. Season 4 of The Single Life. It aired tonight. It is the Chantel, Debbie, Natalie, who am I forgetting? Tyree, and Veronica season, and Tim. The new season. You gotta watch that, Scott. It came on tonight. You gotta get caught up so you can be in on the conversation. Yeah, but I don't know. I was a little confused as to why they wouldn't have scrapped the footage between Natalie and Josh anyway. Because remember, there was a bunch of stories that came out like a year ago that were exposing Josh as a scammer, and he actually had another girlfriend. And
Natalie was trying to pair up with Josh Cedar.
Yeah, that happened too. You're right. And she sent DMs to him saying, hey, I was with this guy named Josh on the show, but it might not work out. Did you want to take his place? But there's all this drama. So the fact that they're still using this footage is kind of interesting to me. Because I was under the impression they would scrap it and film somebody else. Because we all know that it's bull, right? Like, we know that this is crap. We know that Natalie thinks that she's... With
her being a scammer, she's going to have to find somebody that's in the public eye. Somebody that is rich, or someone who she thinks is rich, because we all know Josh Cedar or whatever the hell his name is, he ain't rich. He's a fake ass person too. Loves the fake stuff. So I mean, moving on from that, I don't even want to get onto that right now because that's going to piss me off.
Me too.
Anyway, that's what scammers do. That's what scammers do. They've got to find somebody that can take care of them, or who they think can take care of them.
It seems like that's the only goal Natalie has every time she gets with a man. Because did you see the preview for coming up in the season that it looked like things didn't work out with Josh, so she was asking Mike, like, so hey, you want
things
back?
probably worked out with Josh just fine, but she was still trying to have a baby with Mike because she's a whore.
That's true. That's true. Because, like, you know what? Like Tim said, he was like, you don't get to have a husband and a boyfriend. You got to pick one. And I think in her mind,
still trap whoever she can trap. If
yeah,
with a baby, then that's fine. But
we got to start also faulting the men too. Like,
yeah,
if you're married to a woman, in my opinion, if you're married to me, I'm gonna say you can't have a boyfriend too. Like, I'm just gonna put my foot down. Like, you can't, if you want to be married to me and you want to walk around with my debit card, you can't have a boyfriend too. I'm just gonna put my foot down, and I gotta blame Mike for that. Mike should have put his foot down. Like, look, if you want to be my wife, you have to dump your boyfriend and move back into my house. That's just it, right?
Yeah. But she offered to come back. He said no because he's not stupid.
Well, he's not stupid, but he's also not the sharpest tool in the shed. Scott, George married me. Scott, I thought you were in a relation. Oh, wait, no, you're not. Never mind. No, Scott, I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying anyone. Y'all know I don't. I said the only person I'm going to marry is either Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, or Ava Max, and none of them have DM'd me.
I'm down for Taylor Swift, but if you marry Britney Spears, I'm going to have to end our friendship.
Hey, Britney Spears is loaded, and I will take her phone.
I'm not saying she's not, but she's not getting me into the Taylor Swift concert.
I would take her phone away and stop her from doing the weird twirly stuff. See, I would do everybody a big favor, right? I would help. I'm in the business of helping people. I want to help her and also buy myself a really nice Range Rover.
Just think, if you were with Taylor Swift, I could have box seats.
Box? You would be backstage with me.
Hell yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mean, just for the show, though.
Box seats are for the broke people. You would be backstage with me.
I would be happy with box seats as long as I was there.
I mean, I'm waiting on my DM, right? Like, I don't know what Travis got that I don't. He can throw a football, big whip, right? Big whip. I can throw a football, possibly. Yeah. I'm not sure. I've never done it, but I could try. Who knows? How hard can it be, right?
Right. I agree.
So, okay,
True.
so let's talk about Chantel. Because I also want to, hold on, before we get into Chantel, so we didn't get any Veronica and Jamal and Tim and whoever Tim is dating yet, but we did get a preview of Tim and Jamal kind of going in on each other. So I'm kind of, wait, Scott said, I'll dance in my underwear for your credit card. God, stop. Stop. No, we're not doing that, Scott. We're not.
God, you dance in your underwear on Instagram without a credit card. What do you
You do that for free, so I'm not paying you to do that. That's something that you just been giving away. But, okay, so Jamal and Tim were going in on each other, and it appears that Tim doesn't approve of Jamal dating Veronica, which I think is it's on brand for Tim. Tim is always in everybody's business, but his own, right? And I'm trying to figure, like, just worry about you getting a wife, you know, and chill. I feel like Veronica is old enough to make her own decisions. And if she wants to be with Jamal, that's one thing. But I did hear the comment where Jamal was like, you're not a good father to Chloe. And I don't know, that was kind of like below the belt, right? Like, I felt like that was a little, I don't know, when you question people, and okay, so let's be real. Chloe's not Tim's daughter, but Tim has been there since she was like a baby. So like, that's like a pretty strong bond. So I don't know, that comment was kind of triggering, right? I felt like that's triggering, like saying someone isn't a bad parent. Like, you really want to lose a tooth, walk up to a mother, especially a single mother, and say, hey, you're not a good mom. You're about to lose some teeth, right? Like, I feel like that's definitely a really triggering thing to say.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna see how that relationship goes. I don't know if anybody had a lot of high hopes for Jamal and Veronica, because he said at the last tell-all that he wasn't serious about it anyway, right? So I don't know what people really were expecting.
I don't have high hopes for them together, but I would like to set Jamal up with Sophie.
But wait. Sophie and Rob are still together. Sophie and Rob are still together.
I don't care. I'd still like to set Jamal up with Sophie.
No, not Sophie.
Kara, you can't set up Jamal with an engaged to be married woman.
But they don't have to stay engaged. We can kick her up to the curb. It's fine.
No, Kara, not
no, Kara, you can't.
Sophie, no.
You can't end people's marriages.
That's stupid.
We can't. we can't set people up with foreigners that come over here that just want a green card.
Okay, can I set Jamal up with Chantel then?
See, that was my.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I wanted from the
that
beginning.
would be good. Yeah,
That is
yeah,
actually what I wanted from the beginning. Because when they both ended up single at the same time, I was like, this seems like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Jamal and Chantel. It seemed like a no-brainer, and I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. Jamal, Chantel, if y'all are out there, what's going on?
Right.
Do you not know each other? Do you not have each other's phone number? Do you need help? You know, do you need somebody to put in a good word? Like, we can do that for you.
Right.
Like, I don't know what y'all are waiting on. I don't know why you don't want to make that happen, but
that being said, we have to consider that would put Kim with Karen. And I don't want to do that to Kim.
Oh, Miss Karen? I mean, yeah.
Karen's sweet. I mean, she's just dramatic, but she's really sweet. You know.
The first second Miss Karen says one thing wrong to Jamal, Kim's coming in swinging.
It would definitely be a physical altercation, right?
Nothing, but I don't think Miss Karen would have to get the PI or anybody involved, because I mean everybody knows who Jamal is. So, and she wouldn't have to worry about Jamal wanting a green card.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Karen will make some drama out of it. Yeah. I don't know what. Karen
she probably would, but it would be pretty hard because he don't need a green card. So
I think Miss Karen is the type of mom where nobody's ever going to be good enough for her kids. So even if they're like a decent person, she'll still find something wrong, you know. But I would love to see that. When I saw that they were both single around the same time, that was my first suggestion. Yeah. I was like, oh, I feel like Chantel and then, but like you said, merging the families would be hard because I feel like Kim is a version of Karen in herself. You know, Kim is super, super protective of Jamal. And then Miss Karen, I feel like Miss Karen would literally lay on the train tracks for her kids. So putting those two strong, protective mothers against each other, it'll be hard. You know, I feel like one mistake on either side, they're going to be going at it. And it's going to be just like Pedro and Chantel's family all over again. Because I think we said before, we thought that Pedro and Chantel's marriage probably would have lasted if their families wouldn't have butt in so much.
Yeah.
I think we did say that.
Yep, I agree.
So Chantel is in Greece, right? And she's looking for a Greek god, which is what her explanation was. So I don't know. I was confused because she said that she was wanting a man, but she's all the way in Greece. Going to Greece is like vacation D, right? Like you're on vacation to get some D, kind of like what Kalani said about when she was over in Samoa looking for vacation D and ended up getting married. And then we found out later that was all BS. Yeah. You know, her story was they had actually tried to get pregnant and they knew each other for a long time. So it was a lot different. But we're watching Chantel as a newly single woman. And after like a decade of not dating, she's hitting the club pantyless. And she's out on the prowl. And I wanted to get a reaction. Like, do you feel like this is how she should be approaching dating? Or do you think that she should tone it down a little bit? Like, I wanted to get the female perspective.
My opinion, she's in a different country. Nobody knows her. Have fun. Have fun. It's been 6 months. You've been trapped with a weasel for the last 7 years. You might as well just get it on. Then come back.
Yeah, have fun.
Come back.
Have fun. Have the time of your life. Get all that D you want. But can we please talk about the cucumbers?
No
Why
shit.
do people have to keep bringing up the cucumbers?
Why do we have to keep bringing in food? We've got donuts and bananas and cucumbers.
And then she's talking about, then they're asking her what size cucumber she liked. And then she's holding it in her hand. That lets wait a minute.
That wasn't even anatomically accurate. I don't know where they got that steroided up cucumber, but that wasn't even an accurate representation of anyone.
We have to have cucumbers and flowers when it comes.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
I can't, y'all. It's already starting crazy.
Yeah, Donna said on a moped with no underwear. So how do you guys feel about her going off on the moped with some guy? Because a lot of people on Twitter were like, oh yeah, you're in a foreign country. The first thing you should do is go on a moped in at night with a stranger. So like,
Yeah.
how do you guys feel? Because I hope that they interviewed the person first, right? Just to make sure that he didn't kidnap her, try to sell her kidneys. You know,
Right.
I don't know a lot about Greece either. Like, I
I
don't know if Greece is a dangerous place or not. Like, I don't know.
Can we acknowledge the fact that the moped guy looked like Pedro?
He did. He did. Uh,
She's got to
that which made me feel like it was a planet situation.
Yeah.
Right? I felt like that because I was like, what are the odds that he's goofy looking like Pedro and she's running? And yeah, it was a lot for me. I feel like, and also her friends are really, really extra too. Like, did y'all get like a really annoying extraness about her friends?
Huh?
Like, Chantel can't get 2 words in because they want to get their like 5 seconds in there,
Yeah.
you know, and her twerk instructor and her hairdresser. So the first thing that came to my mind was, is it like hard for Chantel to get like friends? Because I was like, these are like employees.
Yeah.
I was like, and I hate it when
Those were literally nobody we've ever seen before.
Well, right.
So,
when did she start hanging
her-
out with these people? We've been watching Chantel for 7 years,
And then-
right?
She says she literally goes nowhere without them.
Yeah.
We've never seen them before. She's always with her family. That's when, like, whenever I seen them in Greece, I was like, wait a minute. Where's Miss Karen? Where's River? Where's Winter? Who are these people?
Yeah.
I remember Destiny from the divorce. That was the first time I remember seeing Destiny. I mean, I have seen Destiny pop up on Chantel's Instagram a handful of times, but I didn't realize
Also,
they had been.
Are they really in Greece? Because I kid you not, when they're like, look at this beautiful scenery, that literally looked like any lake in Oregon.
Now, I don't know the answer to that.
A place called the Cove that's like 45 miles from my house, and I had to take a double take because I thought that was it.
Now that's a good, interesting realization. I don't know. I don't know if they were really on location or not. I know a lot of times back when I used to live in Ohio, they were filming a movie, the Avengers movie, and they were filming in downtown Cleveland, and they said that was New York City.
Yeah.
So it can very well be that they never actually stepped foot in Greece, and they were filming at nice locations around the U.S. much cheaper, right? I don't know. That's a good question. And oh yeah, and somebody said I wish she would have took Winter, her sister, with him. That was my first thing too, because Winter is also single, right? Why wouldn't Winter go out there and find her a Greek god too? You know, like I always thought that Winter and Chantel were close. Maybe we don't know them as well as we think we do, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Scott said
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Why isn't Winter on the single life?
I don't know. I have no
Instead
idea.
of Natalie, why didn't they put Winter? Like,
Winter,
you know how we've been talking, like, ever since Family Chantel came out, even though the family's been in there, it's always been about Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
And when Winter tries to even talk about anything or have a moment, Chantel always takes that moment away from her.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen it. You're right. And when she did have a man, they went and hired a PI and got rid of him. I mean, in their defense, he was hiding an entire human child from her. So they weren't wrong, but you're right. Whenever it is about her, they try to take the attention back off of her or try to find holes in what's going on. I do feel like that. I do feel like they don't let Winter shine. Same with River though. Remember River? He had a season where he had a girlfriend and he was working on his music. We got like 15 seconds of that, and then the rest of it was all.
I would have much rather seen River and Winter than most of the people on the show.
Yeah.
Really?
We forgot about John. John's supposed to be on there too. We
Yeah.
forgot about him.
Next week we're supposed to get John, and then we'll get some Thais and Patrick and the baby, which would be nice. Because we don't get Thais on Pillow Talk, so we don't always get to see them. But Patrick is gonna be on, and it's interesting because, Patrick said that he gets slapped a lot. He's not like the most, I don't know what's the word, romantic guy. Like he doesn't talk to women in the best possible way. Right. He's a Boston guy, so it's gonna be interesting to see him enter back into the. So I'm interested in seeing exactly how that's gonna look for him because I don't know. I would like to see.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I almost had a panic attack when I started to watch the show. I clicked it on, and just hit play. And it started me on season 1, and the introduction was Big Ed. And I was like,
oh, no.
Hell no, I am not doing this. And then I realized,
yeah, that was
I think
season
we're
1.
actually done with Big Ed finally.
Yeah, honestly, you know,
Finally,
I
I
don't know if
think
everybody
we're
knows.
finally done with
I
him.
hope so.
I don't know if everybody knows, but Ed and Liz are not together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
We know she's got another man. It's all over social media.
I don't know if you should know, but yeah, Ed and Liz aren't together. And I think if anything, we might see more of Liz, but not Ed, you know, but and I will say, you know, we're going to get more of Angela. People saw that Michael is in Georgia, and yes, there are cameras. So if you were hoping you weren't going to get, oh wait, you said Patrick instead of John. Oh, no, John, not Patrick. Patrick is with Thais. Patrick is not divorced. Misspoke. Yeah. John is going to be dating, and then Patrick and Thais are going to be a part of that.
Ask Kimberly how she feels about my opinion. I think that we should have set Jamal up with Chantel.
Oh yeah, Kim, how do you feel about that? Kim, Kara feels like Jamal and Chantel would have been a better match for the single life. How do you agree, disagree? How do you feel about Chantel?
I was gonna say, I don't get involved in Jamal's dating life.
Yeah,
that's what she's gonna say.
That's normally, no comment. She's not gonna get involved in the dating life of her son, but you know, we are excited to see how this situation plays out with Jamal and Veronica in the coming season. And who are y'all most excited about this season? For me, it's Chantel. I'm really excited to see how Chantel is gonna approach dating after such a horrible divorce, a horrible relationship. And I don't know if I would have went out there pantyless in the club, you know, if I was in Chantel's shoes. But I think that it's important that she finds happiness for herself, because you know Pedro went in and found happiness for him, Nicole and his mom. I think it's important for her to do the same. Oh wait, I don't get involved in his dating life to a certain extent, but I want him to be happy. Okay, I agree with that. I get you.
But do you agree with me a little bit that that's who we should have set him up with Chantel? You can blink once for yes.
Yeah, blink twice if you agree, once if you don't.
I'm most excited for Tyree and John, and to see Jamal beat Tim's ass.
I want to see that too.
Yep.
All right, so I don't know. I'm not like the biggest Tim fan. I have nothing against Tim.
Blinking once. I was
see.
Right.
I love Chantal too. Chantal is beautiful and educated, and I feel like any man would be lucky to have her. So why not it be my bestie's son, right? So I'm really excited to see Chantal and that. And Pris says she's excited to see John. Wait, Kara, you said you were excited to see Tyree.
John, and I want to see Jamal beat Tim's ass.
Yeah,
and I want to see Jamal swoop in and take Chantel away.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Let's put Jamal on a flight to Greece.
Or to Oregon.
Yeah. So, Dee Dee, who do you want to see this season? Who are you excited about?
I think the only one too that I'm really excited to see is Tyree and Chantel.
Okay, I got you. Oh, so Kimberly says we might see her on a couple of episodes. Okay, we will be looking for that. So I would love to
be looking for you, Kim.
We will. That makes sense. I wonder if the approval rating for Veronica is high. I guess we'll have to wait and see and watch, right? We'll have to see how that goes, because, you know, Veronica might not be the best match for him. You know, I feel like Veronica's not the best match for anybody until she gets Tim out of her business.
Yeah.
Is that how y'all feel? I feel like Veronica.
Well, let me tell you something. Tim don't need to be saying who's good for Veronica. That man needs to clean his own house before he tries to clean Veronica's house. Yep. If you know what I mean.
I agree 100%. I think
Hold on. She's agreeing with that. She's blinking twice.
She blinked twice from Kim, so we got that. So I'm excited to see Kim on the season. I'm excited for that. And so wait, what did this comment say? Everyone is excited. I'm excited for everyone except Natalie. I can agree with that comment as well. Yeah. Natalie is kind of like what do you call that? Anal wart? I think is whatever that grows in your butt and it itches and it hurts all the time. You can't sit down.
Hemorrhoid.
Hemorrhoid. That's That's what Natalie is. She's a damn hemorrhoid. Every time you put the cream on it and it's fine, then all of a sudden it just pops back up. There we go. There's Natalie. Oh, yeah. Diaries is coming on next week, too. I forgot about that. So if you guys want to know what's going on with all the couples that have been off of the show for a while, Diaries is coming on the 8th. And Kara, Guillermo, Kim, David and Annie. Who am I forgetting? There's so many different people. Oh, Emily and Kobe, I believe, are going to be on there. Patrick and Thais. So all of the people that we haven't been able to see on a season lately because they're happy, which is good. We're not mad about that, right? We're not mad. They're happy, but we get to finally catch up and see how they're doing. And so 90 Day Diaries is coming back on the 8th. Then we're going to get another episode of The Single Life. And then we're jumping back into 90 Day Fiancé, the OG season this Sunday. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot. So we're starting the year off right. I hope everybody had an excellent new year. I stayed off of social media a little bit for the New Year's parties and stuff, but I'm going to be back over posting again. So don't worry, there'll be more extra stuff that you don't need to see. I'll be back. But I hope everybody had a wonderful new year. We're going to be back this week. I'll put out the date tomorrow. I have to talk to the girls off camera first, but we're doing a 90 Day Fiancé trivia night. One day this week. It's probably going to be Thursday or Friday, but I'm going to put out an official video and announcement. But we're going to do 90 Day Fiancé trivia. The person who wins the trivia, you have to get as many questions right. There's lots of prizes. There's going to be a body splash from Kimberly. There's going to be a cameo. There's going to be cameos from Kenny and Armando, Nikki Exotica, David and Annie. There's going to be lots of prizes for people who know their 90-day trivia. So if you know your 90-day trivia, make sure you log on. It's going to be a live. You'll come on camera with us. You'll answer questions. We'll keep score. And the top 4 winners are going to get a prize from some huge names in 90 Day Fiancé. And we're going to try to keep this going at least once a month. So every month there'll be more prizes, more questions, and just more positivity. So, but there is some fun categories. Like there will be some categories of some of the 90-dayers who might have ended up behind bars, right? Who might have ended up behind bars. So if you know your trivia, this is going to be a lot of fun. There'll be some really easy questions too. So thank you guys for joining us. And we're back after 2 weeks. I missed doing this. I missed you guys.
Missed you.
Yeah, I missed
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, I missed this. So we're back. We're back at it. So everybody have a wonderful night. Make sure you're following my co-host, Kara Dee. They're tagging this video. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast, type in The George Mossey Show. Oh, and my medium, Juliana Fisher, asked me to put out a statement. She needs people to send her messages because we want to do a live reading on the next Medium Sessions podcast, but she needs you to reach out to her because part of the process of her readings, you have to interact with her, and that's part of the way that she channels the energy. So if you want to do it, it's a $160 value that she's willing to do for free live on the podcast. So if you want to do that, please reach out to Juliana so we can have you on the next episode of the Medium Sessions. Thank you guys. Everybody have a wonderful night, and we'll see you all very soon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.